This technique I'm going to call a focal image hack because it takes focal images from other sources and turns them into unique focal images. Hi, I'm Karen Burchill, Creative Katie. Welcome to my channel. So this napkin is called Iris with Butterfly. I like the colors, I like the iris in it, but when I put it up, it's really busy. And I don't like all the elements that are there. They're kind of repetitive, they're the same height, and it's really hard to use this as is. So this is where the hack comes in. You got to be brave because you got to take scissors and you're going to cut some of the elements out. I start by just rough cutting it, getting it out of that square napkin shape. We're freeing the elements from their position, and that allows us to maneuver them and addition them on the page and play with them and see what the possibilities are. But you have to let go of the fear of, oh, what if I cut in the wrong place? There is no cutting in the wrong place. We are simply harvesting the elements and then we're going to put them back together in another way that is going to be strictly our own. Now, in this video, I'm using one napkin, but you can combine elements from different napkins if that's what you want to do. So I am doing a lot of playing, moving it around, folding things under, cutting things apart. And, first I rough cut, I kept it fairly large, and then I'm going to narrow it down. And once I get a good idea of kind of where I want to go with this, I'm going to peel off those excess layers, grab my liner brush and water cut a lot closer to the actual element. I'm kind of fine tuning it. So you start with bigger pieces and then you narrow it down as you figure out what you want. And there is no wrong way because I can always take the elements that are here and glue it back to how it was if I want, or I can adjust it. Now, I like to remove as much of that excess napkin as I can by water cutting it out. But in this case, the background is white. It's going to disappear fairly 100%. So it's not 100% necessary, but I like to get rid of the bulk and the texture of that, and I go fairly close. So as I'm narrowing it down, I'm able to play with the elements, move them around on, I'm using a 9x12 mixed media page, but I could take those and move them around on a 7x10 and see which elements or how many elements are going to work. Nothing is precious. Everything can be changed. And I know at the end I'm going to do some overpainting and I'm going to add back some leaves or other elements that I can add. So I'm moving things around and I do a lot of this. You have to be brave and you have to think, oh, as I move it around, I'm going to figure it out. You're going to know what you like. And every one of us is different. See this middle part? I'm getting rid of it. I don't like it there. I want to put something else. And I'm going to cut this part off. And now it's going to look like it's floating, but I can paint those stems in later. Right now, I'm just exploring the possibilities. And that's the key part of this hack. Nothing that's on that napkin is the starting point. Our creativity takes us to the end. So I keep playing with it, moving around. I've got smaller and smaller elements. I'm adding layers. What I want is some difference between, the one side of the napkin and the other. They're identical. We've got 4 panels that are identical. I want something different. So now I'm adding in some of those smaller elements. I may use some of them. I may use none of them. And quite honestly, until I figure out the whole page, I'm not sure. here's where I'm at. Here's where I like it. Now I planned on that left side dropping lower to alter the height. And I still have some napkin left over, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that at the end of the video. In a minute, I'm going to glue these elements down, my fluid matte medium, but I have a background to create. Because I want to glue that napkin down and I don't want to distort the colors, I want to keep my background fairly neutral. So I am mixing unbleached titanium and white gesso with a makeup sponge, and I'm not trying to get this all solid one tone. I love the variation that's here. I want a very neutral, very plain background. I have a lot of focal image, as the case may be, so I don't need to have a background that competes with my focal image. We're not done with the focal image hack just yet. There's another part that I show after I glue it down. See all that difference that I'm creating in that background just by slopping on the white gesso and the unbleached titanium. Lots of interest there, even if I did nothing else. But I decide to do something else. This is Maidenhair Fern stencil. I am going to stencil with white acrylic paint. At first I tried white gesso, but it's thinner and it wasn't as opaque as I wanted it. There wasn't enough contrast. I want it very tone on tone, but I did want to be able to see that pattern or motif in the background. And using the straight up acrylic paint, a couple like coats of it, really it does pop up. It's very faint, it's very subtle, which is exactly what I want. This is turning out exactly how I figured out in my head, and I love when that happens. We know that it doesn't always happen. So I'm putting on the white on that background, and it's showing up very subtly. It's going to give a wonderful subtle background. So I'm going to continue with the white. And at this point in time, I thought all I was going to do was white. But as happens with many pages, you start and then you get another idea and you got to do what the page wants you to do. I'm loving the look. Absolutely. Is it here? Yes, I grabbed the unbleached titanium. So I decide I'm going to do some in white and some in unbleached titanium. Still, I'm only using the two colors that I put on with the makeup sponge. It's very much tone on tone and very subtle. And this would work with any colors that you use in the background. Now, if I had more open space, I might have done some of this with modeling paste. And then I'd add some texture. But not a lot of space is going to be available by the time I put my focal image. So no texture on this page other than visual texture and layering. And what can I tell you? I love this background. It's super soft, super subtle, and perfect. So let's get back to gluing down the elements on the page. And I'm using my fluid matte medium, and I just lift it up, put a layer of the fluid matte medium underneath and a layer on top. And it's really key that you put that layer on top because it makes the colors a little bit more bold and it seals it, turns it into a non-porous surface, which is key when we get to the second part of the focal image hack technique. Now here I realized that I was going to alter the height of that iris on the one side and I forgot. And it's glued down. So now I just need to make it work. In a perfect world, I would have that image on the left-hand side, I would have dropped it lower to add some variation. Maybe next time. Now I have some smaller elements that I had cut out, and now's my time to addition them and decide what's going to work or not. And before I firm that down, I'm going to grab a sentiment from the Through the Garden Gate Sentiment Pack. It's available at Ninny's Napkins, which is where I get all my napkins for. I'll put the link in the description box. So I have a whole variety of sentiments that could work here, and I'm auditioning them with my focal images. Do I need to move any or change anything here? You always kind of want to know where your focal or your sentiment is going to go in retrospect to the focal image. If you don't put a sentiment, then you don't have to worry about it, but it can act as part of it. I'm kind of putting this right in the middle. I wish I had thought about the sentiment a little bit earlier. I may have moved things around a little bit, but I'm good with it. Now, here's the second part of the hack. I am changing, altering, tweaking the colors. And I'm using my Inktense blocks. That's what the tin you see on the left-hand side. And I'm just drawing it on. These stems, they were floating. So I just am extending it down, adding leaves, and deepening the colors. Or even changing the colors. I like using the Inktense blocks for this because it's very transparent. It's just like a wash of it. If you're using acrylic paints, you need to water them down somewhat. And again, a reminder that you do need to seal it with a coat of the fluid matte medium or gel medium on top so it doesn't just wick on the napkin surface. So here I'm adding some yellow, I'm extending leaves, I'm extending the flowers, I'm deepening colors. Now, I do have my Inktense block all swatched out so I can match the colors. But I'm going for ballpark. Or I'm even wanting to change the colors or deepening, add more blue, add more, you know, violet than what they have. I can change that up and make it my own. Because in this focal image hack technique, what you're doing is using it as a starting point and then turning it into your own. Nobody else is going to have exactly this page, even if they use that same napkin as part of it. Because you've added these personalized touches to it. As I'm looking at this now, I just absolutely love that maidenhair first stenciling in the background. Here I'm adding some violet, some blues, and really just making it my own. I love overpainting napkins and other focal images. It just brightens it up and just really makes the whole page. You can do parts of it, you can do all the elements of it. That's up to you. And I've done each of those. By deepening the colors, I make it stand out from the background. This is a fairly neutral background. Sometimes you might have a busier background. Now, I decided at this point that I wanted to add some script stamp, and I'm using purple. I don't ever remember buying purple archival ink. I could have used my Inktense blocks to stamp with, but I figured since I had the purple, I might as well use it and just bring that out. Black would have worked just fine too. Full disclosure, I'm thinking I should have used my larger script there. And now I'm just edging the page and we're just doing all the finishing techniques here. I always edge my page, that frames it, makes everything kind of work together. Just part of the finishing process. A little bit of highlights and shading on the napkin, but I opted to not do that on this one. And then a splatter of gold because we all need some shimmer and shine. Spring, it's a time for new beginnings. And there is the finished page. I hope you try this focal image hack. Grab a napkin, Make it your own. So here's the leftover napkins, and I decided I'm going to take, I've got two big pieces, and I'm going to use the majority of that on a 5x7 card. And then I have some 6x6 cards. So this one's going to have a lot of surface there. I think I might put some texture on that corner. And I have one other napkin because when you get them from Ninny's Napkins, you always buy two. Now these random little pieces, I'm just going to tuck them inside. And now this will go into my binders that I store my napkins in. Until next time, give this a try. Go get creative.